we're asking questions dealing with debt. We've had a lot of great calls. Thanks to everyone who's called in, and Gina for your great advice. We are now going to turn to Leroy. Mr. Leroy over in Centerpoint. Good evening to you, sir. How can we help you this evening?
Good evening. I just had a question. I have a mobile detail business, and so my question is, if I was to file bankruptcy, how would that affect my business, which is an LLC? Like, it's a very small business. I don't really have any assets on the business side, but I didn't know if the court would make me shut down my business, basically.
Based on what you've told, hi Leroy, based on what you've told me, if your LLC doesn't have any assets, if you don't have, paid for trucks that go out or whatever goes out to do a detailed job on a car, if you own an LLC, it's a personal asset. However, if the liabilities, the debt of the LLC are greater than what the things are that you're worth, then that LLC is really worth nothing on paper. So the answer to your question, if that's the case, is you can file personal bankruptcy, and sometimes people have a personal guarantee on some business debt. That debt will go away for you as a person. So yeah, I definitely think you need to look at it if things have gotten rocky and you've got personal bills. There are a lot of people that come into my office that have LLCs, but they're worthless. And as far as an asset, and so I can file a 7 on them if they fall under the qualifications.
It sounds like you kind of want to walk him through that and talk him through that.
Yeah, there's more information I definitely need. Can't give him advice over 2 or 3 minutes, but I do have so many people that come in that the assets of the LLC are less than the liability is greater than the assets, and so they can file.
Gina, that raises a question in my mind. If somebody comes to see you, say somebody's watching tonight and they want to come and see you, what do they need to bring with them that will help you analyze their situation and give them the best advice you can give them?
Okay, first thing, when they call in or they come through my website, they have to fill out an intake form just like you do a doctor's appointment. Mostly check yes or no. We like that to come back to us before I sit down with them. So once I sit down with them, I don't need anything other than that initially. Now, I do ask for 2 pay stubs for both husband and wife, whether they're both filing or not. But then as we move forward, they need driver's license. If we're moving forward for a case, driver's license, Social Security, tax returns for the last 2 years. Then they need their pay stub, all of their pay stubs for 6 months prior to filing. So for people that are filing this month, we would need all the 6 months prior to, which would be the end of January. Bank statements, obviously all the payday loans, the title loans, car loans, mortgages, those are the things we need. And then they're also, we provide them the service to do credit counseling because that's a necessity before we file a case. But it's so simple to get that stuff together these days, and everything is electronic. They can email it to us, we'll print it, and we have it all. But it's not necessary until after I meet with them.
Okay.
And Gina, I've heard you mention Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Would you just basically tell us the difference between those two types of bankruptcy filings?
Absolutely. Chapter 7 is often referred to as liquidation bankruptcy, and what that term comes from is if people have assets that are over what the law says we can have in Alabama, then the trustee might liquidate those assets. 90% of my cases are non-asset cases, so there is no liquidation. Chapter 7 is the fresh start, rebuild your credit. You rebuild it very quickly. You can do it once every 8 years, stays on your credit for 10. However, your credit score will shoot up immediately after filing. But basically it's for people who have no equity in their home, not a lot of equity. You can have a car, you can have a car payment. You're given the opportunity to keep that car if you can keep it current, but it makes all that junk debt that's weighing you down, like an albatross around your neck, it's weighing you down and it makes it go away. 13, and that's my favorite type to do with 7 because it just makes people happy, and you want nothing better than an attorney that has a client that's happy. 13 is like consolidation in the fact that we take all the debt together. If you're behind on your mortgage, say $10,000, we put that in. We put your car payment in. We put all your credit card debt in. And you keep all your assets too. So if you have a lot of equity in your home or or on your car. You get to keep everything, and you just make a payment once a month for up to 5 years.
And is there an analysis done of what you can afford every month instead of just paying all those
Yes,
debt
there is an
bills?
analysis. There's a couple of ways we look at it. Number one, we look at what's called the means test. And if my client is over the means test by a lot, and say they're over the means test by $2,000 a month, but their debtor's court payment works out to be $1,000, well, their debtor's court payment is going to be $1,000. Okay, but if their unsecured, if their median income is $500. And their payment comes out to be $1,000, then we can do what's called a pot plan, obviously without knowing people's house. We do a pot plan where they pay 50% of that unsecured debt back over 5 years.
Yes.
So they would still pay their mortgage, their taxes that are in there, and their car payment at 100%, but they get to pay 50% of that debt. And just think if you've got $100,000 worth of credit card debt, and we can go through that means test analysis, and you only have to pay half that over 5 years.
It's pretty good.
So
And no
even
interest.
under 13, you're going to be better off monthly than
Most, there are a lot of people that can't afford the money up front for
Yes.
a 7, and they often want to do a 13 because we can cram down that
What they
unsecured
pay.
debt.